Dawn Stenslamenti back with you, here with celebrity wedding and event designer, reality TV personality, Samantha Goldberg. And I know you can't say some of your clients, but they're really, really famous. And they're really, really rich, right?
They have deep pockets. That's what we say.
Deep pockets, and you
More
love
than
that.
other deep pockets.
Let's show some of your evidence of that deep pockets, some centerpieces that Samantha's rich and very famous clients can spend up to $1,000 per centerpiece. Is that right?
Actually, it's more.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a wedding I had last year. It was $17,500 for a 15-foot centerpiece.
17 grand. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
7 hours to make.
a car right there.
It's a college tuition for a couple of years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So you create these high-end masterpieces, and it's got to be a blast.
It's a blast. There's not, like a lot of our clients ask, how do you become inspired? There is no inspiration. So if you have a client that comes in and they are certainly fortunate to have deep pockets, they want what they see. They want, when they look through the magazines, they want you to pick something for them that feels like them. They prompt me, and then I move from there.
So for those of us who can't afford the $17,000 centerpiece, what amazes me, and this shows how creative you are, that you can actually say, hey, for a few bucks or under 20 bucks, you can have something amazing by doing it yourself.
Yes.
So let's show, these are amazing. I can't believe it.
Thank you.
So
I'm
take
going
me
to start
through.
over here. Okay, so this is a very simple look, okay? This particular centerpiece, if I were just to talk about just the vase and the beading and so forth without any of the chargers and things that you see before us, this one might run you about $70. When you start adding floral, it gets a little bit higher towards 100. And a lot of times what we do with the vases to the right and left are usually floating candles. Obviously we can't have them here, but I want you to picture in your mind that we might set maybe a gold candle or something that's going to be very vibrant and shiny. It's just really going to add a special touch. Anytime you work with gold or champagne, you're going to want to have some accents. I've actually added quite a few here. So the beading, okay, this is sold at a lot of the craft stores. Basically what I did was I measured enough to fill the outside of this vase. So you can tell it's got a lot of movement. It feels,
a lot of fun.
It's a lot of movement, it's a lot of fun. It still could possibly have a candle in the center of it and still look unbelievable in photos like what you saw earlier.
Yes.
So you could have a plate with some gold implements on it. You can add your own with some bling if you want to. And also with black. I like to mix it up a little bit. So depending on kind of what the bride's looking for, vintage, a little chic, with the right lighting and with the right things put together, she could easily have a place setting an entire table for $100 if she really, you know, looks.
And so take me through these other looks here, speaking of looks.
So, well, I want to go over a couple things. This one here is obviously the showstopper, okay?
Yes.
First of all, what I want to do is talk about the floral. Now, obviously, everybody wants floral, but nowadays, you know, there are a lot of people who are allergic to floral, or they're the romantic type that candles everywhere. So I'm going to give you two ideas here. This one here, obviously, you're going to see green, okay? Florists would put this together. It's called a kissing ball, believe it or not, and it's used for the holidays. Sometimes you might find a little bridesmaid carrying it down the aisle. You might see it hanging off a chair. Well, it's recyclable because basically when you bring it back to your reception, it becomes this whole different piece. So you've got your base here.
Okay.
This here is basically just clear gems, a little bit of black enhancement. I did a little bit of the brocade look here, which could be damask, it could be many different patterns, but it works. It all works together.
So this is like on a sheet that then you stick
around. It's a sheet,
around.
and you glue and stick. It doesn't stay on.
Okay.
Yeah, it does, and now with the glue gun, so you got to be really careful. But this one here, if you notice, when you add floral to the arrangement, obviously I did add a brooch, and those are also very expensive. The feathers I put on myself and burned myself like crazy, so you gotta be careful with that. But it does add a little bit more flair than you would normally expect from just a cylinder vase. There are so many ways that you can make a cylinder vase look expensive, and it really doesn't cost a lot. And number two, it doesn't cost you a lot of time. I'm going to talk about these for a moment. This is just a cylinder vase. It's not from the dollar store. For myself, you can easily go online and get wholesale. It's available to the public. This might run you maybe $5, and if you compare it to a dollar store, you can tell the glass is definitely thicker. With this particular piece here, I just wanted to show you, I cut a piece of a roll that actually looks just like this. And this is one of my favorite. I know, yes. I do too. I'm waiting for somebody get pink. basically what I've done here is I cut it out for the circumference of the vase. I put it around. I use my hefty glue gun. I'm very careful.
And that's what you did here,
And
too.
I did it there as well, right. Some of this was actually adhesive, and again, not sold to the public, but it does make it a little bit easier for us because then we add implements on top, which we're going to go over on that piece. So this one here is very easy. You can put it on the front. I actually used an earring.
Oh, fun.
Yes,
So it's
and
a
you
great
cannot tell
idea.
where the hook is. Some people will put candles again on top when it glimmers on the table. And again, with LED lights, which I have, it kind of takes on its own feel. And
so
it
much
just looks
fun.
amazing in the room. So it's just an idea. Also, I began to get very creative with the bling here. I'm loving the bling.
You know, we just got
Napkin
15
holders.
seconds, so let's do the napkin
All right.
holder, and then we'll talk about the chocolate
napkin
menu,
holder,
too.
same concept. I added Velcro onto it for 25
brilliant.
cents, if that. You have a
For a
blinged
quarter.
out napkin holder, and it looks amazing. So let's move on over to there.
Okay.
Okay. This here is also one of my favorites. The chocolate menu, it's not for somebody who doesn't have deep pockets. It's about $25, but it's amazing. You can eat the whole thing. You can use it as a menu card. You can use it as a favor. So you're done there.
So it's perfect.
Okay.
And then the
This piece
cylinders are
is
so
my
much fun.
favorite. I probably would not add floral to this. I probably would add candles. I'd add some duck. I would probably uplight it.
It's
And
just on a cylinder.
these are
It's right
amazing
here.
lights. You could turn it into any color you want. You could turn it to yellow.
All right, I
HTV.
want to get to our last segment. You're so amazing, and I'm learning so much with a glue gun and a $1 vase.
Yes,
you can
I
save
do
so
too.
much money. Hey, glamorous and clever touches to make your wedding unique. Back in a moment.